to the Artist Coaching Podcast, everyone. Hope you're doing well. As you can see, it's just me for now. I'm actually waiting for Jay. I'm not really sure where he is. He didn't respond to my message, but I'm sure he'll be here in a couple of minutes. And until that time, you'll have to do it with me. As you can see, I switched backgrounds. Um, we have two desks here, and I kind of switched the desk now. So this is the other background. Let me know which one you like more. I actually prefer this one. It's a nice color. It's a decent setting. Anyway, I hope you all have been doing well. It's been another week. We received quite a few responses from people on last week's episode with Kill the Bus, and I must say I really liked it as well. To me, it was a surprise as well, as in I didn't really knew the full story, to be honest. Um, and it's been fun to catch up with him and to hear where he has been in his life, what he has been doing, and how he got here. So if you haven't watched that episode yet, make sure to go over to the YouTube channel or any podcast streamer and check that episode with the one and only Kill the Boss. It's live now. In the meantime, I see the first people dripping into the live chat on YouTube. What's up, Josh Letitia, Lion Harris, Melodramatic, Gerard Frances, Rentre, Ben Singh, Bitry. Welcome, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Israel Carter's also here. Yeah, Israel, it's just me for now. I'm actually waiting for Jay. I don't know where he is. Let me check if he sent me a message. Oh, yeah, he's on his way. He's on his way. He'll be here in a couple of minutes. How have you guys been? It's spring is around the corner here. It's beautiful weather. For me personally, spring is probably the best time of the year, as in I'm always super energized, super positive, super motivated in these periods of time. Um, and I still remember actually that back in the days when I was still making music, this weather had a lot of effect on my mind and on my mood and my creativity. So I'm really wondering how that is for you. Let me know. Um, as Bit3 said, Ralph won't be here today. He is at Tomorrowland Winter at the moment. Marlon will be performing there and he is joining him. So Ralph won't be here. So we all wish him the best of luck at Tomorrowland Winter. You might, I'm not sure if there's a live stream from their set later today, or that it even is today. I'm not sure. Um, I'll have to check. But I do know there is a live stream from Tomorrowland Winter. So you might be able to catch them there. Uh, feels like festival season is here finally, which inspires me. Yeah, exactly, Ben. Like that's how I feel as well. It feels like, yeah, positivity is back in the air. If I watch outside right now, like just a lot of people walking and smiling. Like it's crazy to see what the weather conditions can do for people, to be honest. Sun's out today, feeling much brighter than previous weeks. Yeah, man. Like honestly, normally I don't really struggle with something like a winter depression, and I didn't really struggle with it this year. At least I think I didn't. I didn't really feel negative or depressed or whatever. But now that this weather is here, like I do notice a big difference. As in, it's just much better. Ben Singh to the rescue. He says, yes, there's a live stream from for Bassjackers today at 10 past 8 p.m. European time and 10 past 7 English time. So if you want to catch their set, make sure to tune in on the Tomorrowland Winter live stream at 10 past 8 p.m. And we actually received quite a lot of questions today in the Discord, so we will definitely get to those questions later on. I'll first catch up with Jay and with you guys, and then later on we'll go to the live stream. And in case you missed, we will actually be doing another live demo feedback sessions after the podcast. So if you want feedback on your music, make sure to join that live stream. It's in the Discord server. The link should be in the description somewhere. Join that Discord server and check out the demo event. It will happen on the main stage. and it will be me, maybe Jay. I'm not sure if he's there, and we will just be going through your demos. So, just a side note: we will only be checking demos of people who are actually live there during the feedback session. So, don't bother sending them now. Doesn't have a lot of use. Any other guests in upcoming shows, the ones you've had so far, were interesting, says Israel Carter. Thanks, that's very nice to hear. We actually get a lot of positive messages from people when there's any guests, so that's amazing to see. Yes, we have new guests coming up. I believe next week we have, I think her name was Maris. Let me check. It's a girl. Jay arranged it, so I have to check. Marrow is her name. Yeah. She, I think she will be with us. Let's see, the 26th. Yeah, that's next week. So next week we will have another guest. As Renzo said, it's Marrow, which is a DJ music producer, a girl. She's doing pretty well at the moment, I believe. I really haven't dived into her yet, but from what I believe, she's doing a great job, and I'm very curious to hear her story about how she got where she is right now and what she's planning for the future. So that's about it for now. Something else that I've been working on, which I wanted to mention to you guys, and I can do right now since Jay is not here yet. As many of you might know, I've written a book about 5-6 years ago, I guess, something like that. For those who haven't read it yet, it's available for free on the Artist Coaching website, so you can download it there. It's called Unhappy with a Dream Life. And that book is about my life, as in from a younger age, building a DJ career and eventually quitting my career and all the things that happened in between. Um, so that's a book I wrote back then. And right now, I kind of felt like I wanted to start writing the follow-up book, as in we're years later, my life has completely changed. Me as a person has completely changed. Artist coaching has changed. I've gained a lot more knowledge, and I was like, let's start writing the follow-up book, which is more about the boring life. For those who have been following me longer, I've been predicating about this for a longer time, as I'm a big fan of The Boring Life. And right now I'm thinking about the title for the book, which might be Happy with a Boring Life, because the previous book was Unhappy with a Dream Life. The new one might be Happy in a Boring Life. And the book will be about how a boring life can make you happy, and how structures and rhythm and patterns and doing the mundane, boring stuff every day. Actually, I see Jay's in the waiting line. I'll get him in. He's there. Hey, I
Hey!
don't see you.
Can you guys see me?
I don't see you. Turn off the lights. There he
Guys,
is.
I have a hat on.
Is your hairdresser still AFK?
I was today at the hairdresser at 12:30.
Mm-hmm.
Um, only to find out that I didn't have an appointment.
Dude, you've been waiting for 7 weeks,
I've been waiting for so long, and I didn't really make the appointment properly, so it
and
didn't.
now,
It never confirmed.
and now what? You have to wait another seven
I
weeks,
have to
or
wait. Nah, he's a friend of mine, so he's like he can maybe fit me in somewhere.
he'll squeeze you in.
Yeah, but now I'm wearing this hat that I bought at the Hema around the corner because I was like, I can't walk around like,
I'm done with it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, look at
So
this. I've been to the hairdresser today.
nice.
Yeah, man. My mother is a hairdresser, so.
When does he finish it? When does she finish it?
Look at him, Mr. Funny Guy.
Always
How have you been?
good. Yeah, just good. I was very excited for my haircut, but other than that, good. I think the sun is out here in Holland, so that's very nice.
I was just talking about it, that it influences your mood so much.
So much, man. So much.
Insane.
Especially after like winter, it's just it's quite cold still in the mornings. So it's like I'm also a bit over that, and I'm really ready to just get on with a bit more nice weather.
Yep.
And it
Does
does
it does it
influence you a lot.
influence does it influence your creativity as well?
Um, well, not really. I think not really. Especially I have this thing here, which is also very um thought of like you have a studio with no windows, which I would love in one way but hate in another way, because now it's always the same, so you don't have an excuse to be like, oh, it's shitty weather, I feel depressed,
Hmm.
or hey, the sun is out and I want to go out. It's just this is it, and you have to just make the hours and make it work.
I must say, since January, since I moved to this office, I have two big windows. I'm super happy. Like the fact that there's daylight in the office, because in the podcast studio, as you know, there's just like this small little
Little window,
window,
yeah.
with no direct sunlight. This just makes me feel much better, man. Like,
It's a nice spot where you are. I've been there, and it's like it's nice, like in the city center, but not like the crazy busy city center.
mhm.
Tilburg is also like a nice little city, little town, maybe.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
city.
yeah, city, but it feels a bit like a town. It's not like
Yeah,
Amsterdam. It feels very yeah, just something going on, but not too much, which is nice.
yeah, true. Yeah. No,
So
I'm
yeah.
very happy with that. I was actually right before you came in when you were banging on the chat room. Um, I was actually talking about that I just started writing my new book.
You did start, or you're gonna
Yeah, I
start?
already started. Yeah,
Nice. I
this
was gonna
idea.
say, people who say I'm gonna write a book, and I did that today. They never
Uh,
really start. They just say they're gonna start.
no, the whole idea, and that's what I wanted to share with the audience as well. The idea has been in my mind for a longer period of time to write the follow-up book of Unhappy with a Dream Life. And implement kind of all my life lessons and things that help me to live a boring life, as in quote boring life, right? Like a peaceful and yeah, quiet life. Um, but the idea that I got since a few weeks is kind of start writing it in public, as in maybe release every chapter once I feel it's finished, and then release it to the audience. Might get feedback from them, and then go to the second chapter, and then eventually release the whole book. But like
Hmm.
release per chapter, so kind of like an album, but you release every song.
Okay.
Um, I was thinking about doing it like that so that I can just write with the audience, as in they see what kind of thing I'm writing about and what I've been doing, and yeah, just get feedback from them before I actually release it.
Nice. That's interesting. I hope. I mean, that's the goal, I guess, of a book. Um,
Yeah,
but you
I
started. So how far are you?
well, to be honest, let me check. I'm at page 15 already.
Oh wow.
You know what I did? Like, I use a lot of ChatGPT, to be honest. Not to write it, but in my day job, I used a lot, and I also used it to start brainstorming about the concept of the book and to create a layout for the book and like all those like
Yeah.
practical things, because it really helps me if I already have a structure. And then once I have the structure, it's really easy for me to start writing.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you can compare it to a bootleg, right? Like if you have a vocal, it's easier to start making the song. And it's the same way it works for me with this book. As soon as there's something I could like that I can build on, I would say it's much easier for me. So
Hmm.
I've been doing that, and now that I feel the structure is there, I started writing, and I instantly banged out 15 pages. So
Nice.
it seems
Yeah,
to
I guess
work for
that's
now.
sometimes that helps having some like guidelines to
Oh man,
it's like an
like the
outline of, hey, this is where you're working towards, and then you can
yeah,
just do that. I do that
that
with songs. I
mm-hmm,
sometimes have like especially in Fruity Loops, you build loops, and then you have like a lot of loops and a drop and a break, but nothing else. So what I do is I make and this is also a tip I heard from Chris Lake. He says, pretend you have a show in an hour, and you
mm-hmm,
have to play it. You have to. So
deadline.
what you do is you make a very rough outline of, here comes the intro, so I put a kick, then comes the break, so I put the chords, and then comes the drop, and there's the build up. what happens is you have just set like your the outline for what you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do, and from then you can just take each block and be like, okay, build up, let's go, or how am I gonna move into the break? How am I gonna move into the build up? It's just, yeah, it's such a good way
Am I
to
back?
work. Yeah, you're here. So you've never
Oh,
left. You never
weird.
left, man.
It gave me a message. Try to reconnect. I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, yeah, it's kind of the same. As in, I think for a creator, one of the worst things is like for a producer, it's an empty project, and you have to start with something. And for a writer, that's probably an empty blank page with like this cursor
Yeah.
clicking.
Uh-huh.
um and just having something to hang on to and to, yeah, to kind of
Mhm.
lead, I would say, really helps.
Yeah, what I do, and it's like I always also want to write a book, which is like why I say like probably will never happen because if I really wanted to write a book, I would have already written way more.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I write down some nice, if I have an idea or a cool concept or something, I write it down, and I do that in my notebook or in notes on the phone. But then eventually, I hope to have like enough that because you want some cool metaphors or some cool concepts
Mm.
in a book that for people to like, oh, that's such a good explanation. But then I would have it needs some kind of structure to put it in, or
Yeah.
where does that come? Where does that go? And I
Yeah.
haven't figured out that yet, and that's yeah,
Dude, that's where AI is perfect for. As in,
yeah,
just throw in all the metaphors, throw in the idea you have about the book, and just let them create the structure. It's just insane how great that works.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it really helps. Like, I can really encourage you to start doing it. You might finish the book quicker than you think.
Yeah, I think I do think I can write pretty good. I think in school and college I was pretty good with writing stuff, especially when you needed to fill pages, and then
Like,
write some extra stuff that still makes sense.
yeah.
But and I have had some encounters with labels where like it's where you have a conflict and you need to make sure that everything's very clear and very well explained.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember working with a lawyer who then said, "Oh, you do write very well. Like you do
Hmm.
explain it very well." So I always have this thing of I should at some point write a book. But like I said, once again, if you're there right now and you're like, "Oh, I should also start making music," no, you would already been doing it. If you just you have to just start. You
Yeah, but
can't be like, "I
putting
will
it
what's one day begin."
putting it out there, like I'm doing right now, like being kind of out there and communicating it to others, saying like I'm doing this. I'm kind of hoping the community will keep me accountable to it as well. As in,
Yeah,
I'm probably disciplined enough to keep doing this and motivated enough, but there probably will be periods in time of the process where I feel like fuck this shit. And that's where I need the community come in and say, dude, you
you got to
promised a
keep
new
going.
chapter. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
exactly.
sure. I have a release coming up the 28th of March.
Oh, showing
Hey.
time already.
But it's like also one of those things where I was like, I want to release more music. I don't want to always wait for a label, and
Yeah.
maybe it's not the style that's hot right now, but I still want to release music. So let's do it. And then you talk to that with your manager, but this can be anyone. And you then have to kind of start. And then after a while, like, oh shit, we're actually doing this. Oh, it's happening. And then you're just like,
Yeah.
because you put it out there and then you're kind of like, oh shit, now I need to do that. Now I need to do that.
Yeah.
But it does help get things rolling. Just
True.
it's
Let
kind of the explanation of just do it. Yeah, you really have to.
Yeah. Like last week, to connect on that, as in, last week I posted something, a reel. I'm not sure if you saw it, about a thread that I posted. I posted a reel about a thread that I posted.
A
Insane.
thread, as in a tweet from Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, tweet from Instagram. Boomer. Yeah, like that. And I posted a thread. Um I actually have to check it. That's how good my
So I'm so inspired.
Yeah, let me check before I butcher the whole quote. Where is it? Where is it? Success comes from showing up, even when you don't feel like it. As in the discipline to just go into the studio every single day, even when you feel like going to the gym or going into the sun or whatever. It's the consistency of the and the discipline together, which eventually compounds into success.
Yeah,
And that kind of has been a theme for the whole week, to be honest, because even in the coaching sessions as well, it came back a couple of times that people still seem to it's just a common thing that keeps going, right? Like the bringing up the discipline, the motivation to keep coming to the studio, to keep working on the song. Like
yeah.
there's
It's
no one telling you to actually be there, it's just
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And that's the hard thing.
But that's with all discipline. That's the thing. It's always you. No one
Mm,
else can teach you to go to the gym. Yes, you can hire someone to be a personal trainer, but you have to do it.
yeah,
You need that discipline, and that's why I also partly believe in personal trainers, because I want that discipline. Like
yeah,
I could afford a personal trainer. I'm lucky enough to be able to afford it, but I don't want it because I want it to be my discipline.
yeah.
um, Also, I saw a really good quote of John Mayer. It's You can probably find this somewhere on TikTok. You don't need to find it now, but just for people listening, he said something like that he like experimented with, and sometimes writes things that he doesn't like, and he just like he what if I can write something I don't even like at that moment,
Hmm.
and that's the way he disciplines himself. He's like, I'm gonna write. I don't care
Anyway,
if it's
yeah,
good. I am
yeah,
gonna do it. But that's
yeah.
the thing, because I do think with a creative thing like making music, it is way harder sometimes in a way than going to the gym, because the gym is very simple. Let's say here's 10 exercises. I'm going to do them today. You just have to go do them. It's exactly laid out what you're
Hmm.
going to do. Making music, how do you start? There's 1,000 ways you can start.
Yeah, but you could make a structure and say like I'll start with the beats, then I'll start working on the
Yeah,
bass
but I'm
line.
just saying there's so many options and there's so
Yeah,
many ways that you kind of get overwhelmed. Whereas with the gym or running, it's just running. There's not
yeah,
much to it. But I think if you can get that kind of thing of I need to write something, it doesn't matter at all what it is, even if it's just a melody, and you make sure that every day you do that,
yeah,
you will eventually end up making stuff that's usable, or you just like making, or
yeah.
you hate and throw it away. But yeah, there more music means more projects that are doing well, let's
Yeah,
say.
it
So
all compounds into success eventually. But it's just hard to tell that to someone who has never really experienced the result. As
yep.
in, you and I know it because we've been there for like 10 years or 15 years and we did experience it. But if you're kind of at the verge of
but
starting,
but a result can be an upload to SoundCloud,
yeah,
and
exactly.
throwing it on Twitter. That can be a result. You don't need hundreds of thousands of plays. In fact, releasing independently is quite a big step. And I
True.
think um, I don't care what the numbers are going to be. I hope they're going to be good. But what I care about is that I made it to like uploading it to the distributor. It's going to be online. I made all the artworks. I did a lot of it myself. And that's the accomplishment. The rest is just a bonus. And I think
Yeah.
you should set some kind of goals where you're not dependent on like the global success, or or the
Mm.
external success. You need to find what is for you already an accomplishment, I think.
Yeah, you should measure not necessarily success, but you should measure like a goal, as in just simply releasing it. And what happens afterwards is just a bonus, as you said.
Yeah.
And I still remember as well that back in the days, once I clicked like render and I knew the final master was done, it just felt like closing
Christmas.
something, like
Yeah.
closure, right? It
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, finally.
Yeah.
It
For
just was
sure.
such a feel, just a good feeling.
Yeah.
And uploading it to SoundCloud always made me hyped because I just knew like I wanted to put it out there and have people listening to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Same with content, to be honest. Like I always like uploading it because I'm excited to put it out there.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and I do think that that comes through experience, as in right now I feel like that, but
Mm.
earlier in the days it was more of a struggle. Um, and now I'm just primed in some kind of way.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a good one. I see here a reaction of
Yeah,
Gurkish. So isn't making music just making music? And then he says, I mean, there's more dimensions to going to the gym outside of the gym, like eating healthy, sleeping.
true.
Yeah, but what I mean is like your goal can be um, working out, and that is just very black and white, very simple. You either work out or you don't. And making music is like I can be working on that synthesizer for hours and trying to come up with something, and then it's that could be the start of a track, or I start with drums, or there's so many options and like the ways of making music that you just yeah there's not yeah of course working out there's a lot of exercises
Yeah.
but yeah so maybe you do have a point there.
He has a point, but it also makes me think, like, wouldn't it be a nice idea if we would do like a collective uh discipline practice together, as in we just say like we're going to organize something from artist coaching and say, hey, if you want to join, we're going to do this thing where for 30 days straight you're going to make 30 minutes music for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, some kind of challenge. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
like a challenge.
It's
That's the
awesome.
word I was looking for. Like, would it be nice to have something
Yep.
like that, that you can also be accountable to other people who are doing it at the
I
same
think
time?
that's a I think that's a great one, and I think here I also urge people to find creatives around you or online that you connect with. But because did that sometimes here in the studios with Tom and James, and I we would say like, hey, let's in half an hour, the next half hour, we're gonna both make a beat,
Yeah,
and then you come up with like really good stuff within half an hour, and that finally gets maybe ends up being released. But it's such a you're tricking your mind into like, hey, this is just some.
yeah,
You just do it as well. You just
but
have to come
that's
up with something.
yeah, and you just have to go over that resistance, as in
Yeah,
it's the little, well, not the little, it's the huge resistance you feel for that
yeah.
little step it actually is. As in,
Yeah,
if
and
you
someone
just
else holds you accountable. That's the best part.
yeah, and if you just sit down, open up your DAW, and put in the first beat or whatever, you'll probably sit down for another 2 hours, because once you got started, you'll probably stay there. But it's like actually going to the gym, which is the biggest hurdle, which is the same thing with the studio. So I think setting up a challenge like that and saying, hey, we're going to try to make 30 minutes of music every single day for 1 month straight. I'll create like a template or something, and people can download it if they want. But I think that's a nice thing to do. Maybe in April or something.
Yeah,
Let's. I'll see if I can set that up. Let me
that would
know
be
in the
awesome.
comments if you guys are interested in something like that, or if you feel like nah.
And just connect with people on the Discord and like
Yeah,
if you hit it off, like just maybe you like gaming together as well. You don't need to only talk about music. You don't need to send your demo the whole time. If you just vibe with someone and you both happen to make music, hey man, give each other a challenge. Say, hey, you're free. Yes. In next half hour, let's build a hardstyle beat, or let's come up with a piano ballad, or it's so much fun, and it really shows you as well, like, hey, you can on the spot create stuff. Where if you have all the time in the world, then sometimes nothing happens, and that's the funny
yeah,
thing with when I was done with my education, and I was like, now I'm gonna work like 3 days a week, and the rest is only gonna be music. And I thought like now I will make so much music and everything will start, and it just nothing happened. Like that first weeks I was like, why can I not make anything? Nothing works.
no,
And then if you have the time pressure and like I had the touring schedule and like I really wanted to release the next track, and I found time, and I found
yeah,
it's really weird. So yeah, those kind of things can work.
true. Before we go to the community questions, we actually have our first.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I see Renzo asks, maybe we can
Oh,
share what we made in those 30 days.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the main objective. We should have like a SoundCloud page where
yeah,
the best of the 30 or something. Or maybe we should come up with some kind of voting system to have like um yeah, our SoundCloud page where we then upload those songs
yeah. I'll think about
per
that. How we
day
can
or
do that in the
something
best
like
way
that.
possible. Gurkish, does either of you know any hardstyle artists? Yes, and I know there's a couple in the community, and some of my clients are hardstyle artists, so I'm definitely sure they'll be in the community. Before we go to the community questions, we actually received our first jingle send in.
What?
Yep, and I wanted
Is it for
to
clip of the week?
no, what was it? Let me. Yeah, we'll hear it. I think it was clip of the week. Yeah, yeah, I think it was clip of the week. But I'll just play it for you guys, and I'll create a poll in the Discord to let you guys vote if it's a go or no. Um, yeah, it's made by Sansonic, which is also who is also in the community. So yeah, I'll just play it right now, and I'll put up a poll in the Discord right now, so you guys can let me know if it's a stay or nay. Stay or nay. How should we call it? Okay, here's the jingle.
Clip of the week.
That's a bit extreme, isn't it?
In it. Could you hear it?
Yeah,
Or was
it's
it
loud and clear.
oh was it very loud? Okay. I'll just do it another time for you guys, a bit softer.
Clip of the week.
So, what do we think?
What do I think?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Okay.
I appreciate the creativity, and I think it's very cool that I don't know who made it, but made it like electronic. But we have the highest standard here. If you
Yeah.
look at the community questions jingle, that's our standard. And I think we would go for something more like that, more like maybe jazzy or yeah, I don't know,
Jazzy.
just well, just a bit more easy to the ear because this one, if you're listening a podcast, sometimes I listen podcasts when I can't sleep or whatever, and if I then hear like
Bom,
clip
bom,
of
bom,
the
bom.
week, I'm like that's not nice. And that community questions is just like it's soothing. I think yeah, but good effort. But yeah,
Okay, the poll is live in the Discord in the announcement section. So if you have your opinion ready, make sure to click yay or nay. And next week we'll count the votes and see what we'll do with it. Okay?
yes.
Now let's play the best jingle on the planet.
Community questions.
Wow, masterpiece. Community questions. I'm all over the place right
And
now.
then he's gonna search for them.
Hmm?
Best to play the jingle and then start right away with the first
Yeah,
question.
like I'm actually I've changed desks for today. So right now I'm on the other desk. So as you can see, different background, but I also have
Doesn't
a
matter.
different
Do the jingle again and start right away because otherwise we're confusing the
different
hell out of the
setup.
listeners.
I'll just do it again.
Community questions.
As always, we have community questions from the Discord server where you can talk to like-minded artists every single day throughout the week. If you're not a member yet, make sure to click the link in the description, join, and Jay is very proud of me right now. Um, let's go directly to Josh Letitia. Uh, hey guys, hope your week is going well so far. In recent weeks, something that has been on my mind a lot is the importance of brand and awareness. What do you think are the key ingredients to take your artist brand to a household name in the EDM scene? For example, anyone who is in the scene knows the name Bassjackers and Jay Hardway, or Ollie James as another example. You guys have become household names. Good question. Would you like to start or should I start?
It's yeah. This is. If I knew the answer, yeah, I would be very happy as well. This is one of the things. A very difficult question to answer, but because I think the result. I don't know if you can really steer for that, other than just like making great music and
No, but I don't think that's necessarily what he means. I'll
no,
I'll
no,
take
but
it.
I like also there's also a nuance because I think what is a household name is also a thing, because I think yes, I'm known, but am I a household name?
Yeah, that's what he means. Like
Am I
a
gonna play
household.
Ultra every year? Am I
No,
still gonna play Tomorrowland every year?
a household name is a name that you could ask kind of anyone in the industry and they know who you are.
Okay, fair.
So, how do you build that? In my opinion, how do you become a household name in the EDM industry or in any kind of industry? It's consistency and it's some sort of successes in between, right?
Yeah.
So it's the consistency of being in the industry for a long period of time and being well known because of your successes that you might have had along the way.
Yep.
And those things combined, so maybe your reputation as well, um, that will eventually compound into becoming a household name. Because you can't, well, you might, but it's hard, like become a household name in 6 months, right? It's gonna be
No,
hard.
don't agree on that. You can't. It
Yeah.
has all to do with how long people have known you. I
Yeah,
think
it's like reputation over because of the consistency. Like you've been in this industry for so
yeah,
long. Like Layback
yeah,
Luke is a perfect example, in my opinion. The man has been in the industry for 30 years. Like anybody who has ever touched a computer with Logic or Fruity Loops probably knows him,
yeah.
and that's all because he's been here for such a long time and
Yeah,
has
but
been successful.
that's the thing, because I think you can't. You say you can be it in 6 months, but I definitely don't think so. I think if you're in 6 months out of nowhere really famous, people question, and especially people with a lot of experience, they think it might be a one day fly, and you might never hear from them a year later. I think if you're someone that has been regularly like decent success, and you don't need big hits for this, you become a household name. But this can take 5 years, this can take 10 years. But I think
True.
that's the thing. Like I had, for example, a breakthrough with Martin Garrix, so people are also questioning me, like, or thinking like, yeah, well, this is this name, but are we still going to see him in 5 years?
Mm.
And I keep
Aren't
showing
you
up.
like a one-hit wonder, like something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. And then the success is obviously less than Wizard on my tracks, still pretty decent success here and there. And then now after COVID, I do notice, like you say, I'm kind of a household name. Not that I have the amount of shows I would prefer, or that I play the main stages, but people know who I am
Yeah.
in the industry, and that's
Yeah.
that's but that's only through just being there for a long time.
Yeah. Through time. Yeah.
Yeah, I
True.
think that's it. You keep showing up, you keep kind of interacting with the industry. I
And
think that's what makes it. Yeah.
to be honest, there are even people who are not that successful, but who are still household names, in my opinion. As in people in this who know anyone in the industry, like everyone knows who that person is, but it's not like that famous. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah. What's a good who's a good example? Yeah, well, I'm a good example. I'm not
Yeah, but
that
you
famous, but
yeah, but you have been at like a high point
true.
in time, as in you've been at all those stages and
Oh, I think I know kind of what you mean. I know a lot of DJs who haven't had success with their music,
hmm
but they've been playing for a long time, and they just do like a lot
yeah,
of venues that are quite big,
yeah,
but they would never headline a festival, let's
yeah,
say.
that's what I
And
mean.
those
Like,
kind of guys, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
or
that's what I
girls,
mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Question.
showing up. Just
Showing up,
keep
it's the
keep doing
discipline.
what you're doing. I think Josh, what you're doing really well. Where um uh, because of artist coaching, I started following you. We had a call once, I believe, as well. And then now I see you're still there, and it's getting bigger. You're getting more mature as an artist. It's really cool to see. But like keep showing up like this, and people start supporting your music, and then hey, if I hear your name now and then in a year you have another track, I'm kind of like, oh, he's
Yeah,
still here. And if I hear your name in 5 years, you could be a household name. But
yeah,
yeah, time
exactly.
is the main thing
True.
there, I guess.
Here's a new member of the artist coaching community, Die Geile aus Hamburg. Okay.
Ah.
Hi, boys. Love the pot. If all of you would start producing all over again with zero knowledge, what approach would you take?
Well, I actually gave a 10-year-old this advice the other day.
Okay.
I'm from a small town called Drunen, and I was in a talk show a local talk show in Drunen
Oh,
where they
I
do
wanted
like
to ask you.
every couple of months and like
I saw I saw the clip
yeah.
on your Instagram. I was like, where the hell did this guy ended up? Like,
In my hometown, and they interview like famous people from
ah,
Drunen, but also like the local bakery that's been there for 30 years, and those people who ran it have been a guest like that. After the show, the some boy came up to me, 10 years old, and he's like, "Yeah, how do you make music? What do you work in?" And I said, "Look, here's FL Studio. I had my laptop with me, so I showed him. This is FL Studio. Download it. There's demo versions. You don't need money for it. Start." And he's like, "Yeah, do you have to know all the notes?" I'm like, "No, just you can click, you can turn buttons, see what happens. Just whatever sounds cool, find out." And I think that's the exact approach that I told him he should take, and I think I would take as well. I would just open it. Hey, this sounds cool. How did I do that? Or how can I do that? Just experiment.
yeah,
You have nothing to lose. Press some notes. It doesn't matter if it's correct. Who gives a shit? You just keep clicking and turning knobs and adding things and getting things off. And it's yeah, that's how you learn, I
yeah.
guess. And
I would
you
follow.
find out if you think it's fun, which is the most important.
Yeah,
I think.
I would follow the same exact thing, as in just try a lot of things. There are so many YouTube tutorials where you can learn a lot of great things. There's so much valuable content for free available, which you can use. So
Yeah.
there's literally no excuse to get started with music. One thing I would change, to be honest, is I would try to work with more people, like collaborate in the early phases of my career, like put myself next to
Yeah.
other producers, because I've learned so many things from working with Abster back then, and being in the studio with someone else is just a different dynamic.
Yeah.
So try to not be in the studio by yourself all day long, but also go out, meet
For
other
sure.
people.
And
That's really
look
useful.
look for the people with the same passion in making music instead of like, oh, that guy's successful, I need to work with him. Because the same passion is what makes you really want to work together. And you'll learn so much quicker.
Yeah.
I actually like super dumb. Like after a few years working at FL Studio, I worked with someone that's also from Drune, and then I see him like, hey, he selected all the notes at once in the piano roll.
Hmm.
I'm like, how do you do that, man? He's like, Control A, which is like the general
The most
computer select
common thing.
everything, the most common thing on computers. And I mean, I'm not dumb with computers, but and then I was like, holy shit, that just saved me so much time instead
Yeah.
of clicking. And it's even little stuff like that. You learn so quickly, but also seeing someone else be creative is such can be such an eye
Yeah.
opener, and
Definitely.
it simplifies it as well. It's really cool.
True. By the way, I see the US is waking up because the chat is full with US people. Lusso is here.
Hey!
Jamie Strive, Fedo. What's up? They say US usually have at work at this time, but today I'm free. I'm not. It's not a holiday, right?
No,
I
so
don't
he's
think so.
just he took a free day. Oh, man, we have to
He
give a
took a
shout out.
free
Fido
day off.
took a day off his work to listen to the artist coaching podcast.
Yeah. DJ
Mad respect.
Jelgi as well. By the way, guys, we've added emoticons in the chat of YouTube and in Discord with our faces. Jay, did you know that we added an emoticon from?
For me?
I think it was back in the days of your own Discord, like
Oh,
that face where it was your face, but it's like transformed.
yeah,
So somebody sent it, and he was like, "This is an OG Jay Hardway
it is an
emoticon."
OG one. It's
Yeah,
true.
so we've included it. So if
Nice.
you can reply with
Can
all
I
those
use it
things
as
if you
well?
want. Yeah, YouTube. It's this.
Oh, here. Well,
Lol.
here we go. I sent it in the podcast questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Fido
Um,
is we met actually nice in Amsterdam during AD, and you're welcome because I I paid his bus ticket
nice.
because we had to go to the same place. So I was like, just ride the bus with me, which was pretty
Oh,
fun.
nice. You're such a normal guy riding the bus, like just an average Joe.
Hey man, gotta save money.
Yep.
Pay
Oh,
the
here's a
bills.
question from our friend Jelly Boner. Um, have you guys ever played some kinky clubs or events? And what is really happening in the dark rooms at those clubs in general? I did. Did you?
Oh, juice.
I've got quite a few nice anecdotes. I've actually played at 2 fetish parties, and for those who are not aware of what it is, like sex fetishes. I've played in Amsterdam twice, and the crazy thing is, it was such a cool experience because the party was crazy. Everybody went completely nuts because like there were no phones. Everybody was naked. Sounds super weird, but
Were
yeah,
you naked?
they asked me to play in a naked upper body, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna wear a shirt. But the weird thing is, after like once you enter the club, it's super weird because you're like, okay, I just see naked people everywhere, like old people, young people, girls, boys, everything. And around 10 minutes after you've kind of got used to your new surrounding, you start feeling weird because you're
Because you have
wearing
clothes on.
clothes. And I'm like, what is this? Like, and but yeah, it was very honestly, it was a great party. I can't recall the name though. It's a very popular concept in Berlin as well. Um, but I've played there once. There were dark rooms, but I haven't been there. A friend of mine did because he took the wrong door. He wanted to go to the toilet, ended up in the dark room. But yeah, it
Did
is
he
to
end
be
up
honest.
taking the wrong door in the wrong door?
No. But to be honest, it was great because nobody was ashamed. Everybody was just like, "I'm here to party and let's go." And that was the mindset of the evening. So people went completely crazy. So
Nice.
yes, I did. Yeah, I can
Yeah, I once
recommend it.
played at this. There's this concept in Holland called. They sometimes have a stage at a festival, but I don't know exactly what it's called. But it's
Sorry,
like
I was reading the comments.
something
What
that
did they
I was.
say?
Well, there's this concept at a festival where it's also kind of like swingy, like swingers and a bit kinky kind
Hmm.
of concept. But then on the festival, it was just a stage, and I told someone like, "Oh, I'm playing that stage," and they were like, "Oh, that's a bit strange." But I mean, La Fuente was also playing there, I remember, and it was just yeah, weird. But it wasn't weird, but it was just a normal show. But
Yeah.
when someone told me that, I was in hindsight like, "Oh yeah, yeah,
Now
there
you
were a
mention
lot
it.
of older people, like those older swinger couples, I'd
Oh
say,
yeah.
but nothing juicy or anything. Just
Well, with me, like people were having sex on the dance floor and stuff, like that crazy. Like it was.
wow,
There were like these. Do you know those meat hooks where like yeah, people were swinging around in meat hooks and stuff. Like it's insane. Uh, but it's very fun to
nice.
experience for once in your life. This went south pretty quickly. So
Hey man, someone
um,
asked about kinky stuff. You get kinky answers,
oh,
man.
it's Crazyland. I think yeah, Crazyland. Kane Scott mentions it in the chat. I think it was Crazyland. Yeah, that
Crazyland, that's the one.
yeah. I think that resonates with me as well. He
Crazyland
found
was
the
where
back
I
door.
played. Who says
Yeah.
that?
Kane Scott, Renzo. He says, "Okay, this is getting clipped." That's our content creator. That's fun.
Let's go.
Question from Melodramatic. What's the best way to release your bootlegs outside of SoundCloud? Is it possible to release a bootleg onto streaming platforms if you give credit to the original artist and don't allow downloads?
No,
Nope,
very
that's not.
short, simple answer. You cannot use someone else's master recording without permission. Then either you make all the parts yourself, like the vocal you can redo or with AI, or then release it as a cover, I guess. But no, not with the original recording. But what I would do is I would send it to DJs to play, just like low key DJs personally. So not a huge mail out, but just like DJs yeah, that's what I would do. Hope it gets some traction. Yeah, otherwise you're really like, yeah, the copyright infringement stuff.
Yeah,
Lawyers might be calling you, whatever. It's
the suits might be calling you.
the suits. Yeah.
Yep. Um. Oh, here's a relative. How do you call it? Like a question probably everyone is thinking about this week. Have you had the chance
Serum
to
2.
play with Serum 2?
Yes. I downloaded Serum 2 as a lot of producers this
Yeah.
week. I didn't even know it was coming, so I think a lot of producers also didn't know. Everybody seems quite
Was
surprised.
it like a surprise? They just put it
Well, to
out.
me it was, but I also am not really like keeping that much up to date. And it's a free upgrade if you have Serum. And I gave them a $10 tip because I think it's really smart.
Oh,
What they do is as you check out, they say, "Hey, do you want to give us a tip?"
yeah.
And they said like from $5 to $500 you can tip. And I was like, "Hey, that's a pretty cool thing." It's like, "Hey, it's free, but hey,
Yeah.
if you can spare some money, it would be nice." And I think because they know a lot of the producers already have Serum One, so they're not
Yep.
gonna have huge sales. So I thought, hey, you know what, $10, and if everybody that has $10 like me lying around, why not just
Yeah.
send them $10? I mean, I think I owe it to them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Support your creators, right?
exactly, yeah. But
Um.
Serum Two, other than that, the presets to me are a bit disappointing, and I'm a preset guy, and I have to really dive into the all the new possibilities from ChatGPT. So
Dude,
from ChatGPT.
does your house get robbed
Mhm.
or what's
Yeah, yeah.
doing?
I think my girlfriend's working in the garden,
Uh,
so uh, she turned the
at least she's
doorbell on.
doing something, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Not lazy.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I haven't had that much time yet to check it out. What I am really excited about is the standalone presets by Seven Skies because he always makes the best preset packs. If you don't know him, standalone music, I think, but the bunch of preset packs. Go support him. Buy some of his packs. It's really worth the money. It's a lot of cool presets. Yeah, just wanted
Right?
to, and I'm not even sponsored. I just think the guys like that are what makes it so amazing for creatives and like
Yeah.
the
Every
producer
produ-
industry.
a lot of producers use those plugins, so why not support them if you can?
Yeah, exactly.
Next question is from Marin. What's the best moment in your music career? I'm talking about an unreal event where you just stood there and asked yourself, "Am I dreaming? Is this real?"
I can answer.
Yeah, sure. Take it.
Almost every night I've been paid to DJ. Almost every night.
Really?
I'm Yeah.
Honestly?
Almost every night I'm like, holy shit, this makes no sense. I'm DJing, I'm drinking, I'm with my tour manager, I'm with people in the car that are having fun. I'm drinking, it's a party and I get paid. And I get to see the world. Like yeah, like it's just yeah, every time. There's been some times where like I think one time in Portugal, that's one of the things that I then if I have to pick one, I think it was Mayo Sudwest, and I played before Martin Garrix, and I didn't really know much at all about the festival. And I realized there were 30,000 people as soon as I got on the stage.
Like, whoa.
So I was like, oh, and that kind of crowd
Yeah,
shouting something when you say something in the mic is unreal. It's unreal.
yeah.
So yeah, that moment maybe. But there's been so many moments where I was like, is this real? It's yeah. Um, yeah, so yeah.
I think for me, like I should have been much more thankful for all the things I could have I've experienced in my career because I wasn't really living a conscious life back then, I would say. So it just was a big vague thing to me. I never really stood still about what was really happening. But I do recall touring in the US and that I had like a moment of thinking. I think it was Las Vegas as well, where I was like sitting there in Las Vegas and I was like, what the hell? Like how what am I doing here? You know, like just a 23-year-old your kid on his own in Las Vegas. Like how? Like yeah, I still remember that. But overall, I should have been more thankful for all the insane experiences I've had. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you live, you learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Here's a question for Jay from Stefan Miich. Miich, yeah. Can he share those funny letters and numbers that come with serum when activating it? I love to read them before sleeping.
Oh yes,
I
of
don't know what this
course.
is. What
Yeah,
what's that
it
about?
said something like Siri L or something. Yeah, yeah. I should. I
What
will
is it?
give you the exact numbers, and then. No, it's an obvious joke. You should be
Oh.
you should become a scam artist. You're really good. He's
Oh, now I
asking.
understand. I was
He's
thinking
asking
like maybe they put in like a funny thing before you activate it or something, but
it's the
oh, that's
serial
like the
number, so it's
activation
like
serial number.
yeah.
Oh, it's actually oh, he's like a professional scammer. Nice. Cool. Those were the community questions in the Discord chat. Where's my overview? My overview is here. Um,
Kane Scott, are you okay?
hmm?
Kane Scott has just said in the Discord questions. He said bitch. So I don't know. Just
I don't
asking
know.
if it's okay.
I don't know where that came from.
Wrong chat,
Anyway,
or does my face look like? I don't know. It's funny.
oh, he's typing. He's
Um,
typing.
yeah, we'll see.
It feels random. Feels random.
It feels random. You never know.
Anyway,
Um,
as I said
Questions
in
in
the
the YouTube
beginning,
still, or
yeah, if someone's in the live stream right now and has another question, feel free to send it. As I mentioned in the early start of this podcast, we are doing a live feedback session after this. At least I am. I'm not sure if Jay will
no, I
join.
can't make it today.
Okay, so I will
Unfortunately.
just be there. And you can send in your music there if you want, and I'll give you some feedback on it.
Kane Scott.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was we were talking about the Kinky Festival, and it's Crazy Land or Crazy Bitch or something. So that's why he said.
no, I think it's Crazy Land. That resonates with me as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Um, are you going to release your Teddy Swims remix, Jay? Question from Israel
Well,
Carter.
Mr. Swims, if you're listening,
Are you
Teddy,
gonna
as I like to call him.
are you gonna
Uh,
stick with that, or are you actually gonna put it out?
well, yeah, I can't really put it out. You know,
Yeah, as a
that's
bootleg.
the problem. Yeah, I can't. Like it's
Why
I'm
not?
too high profile to really risk giving it away as a free download. So
Why?
like,
It's just a
well,
bootleg,
because
right?
yeah, but have you never heard what happened to DJs who are on a big stage and release a track as a free download? They get subpoenaed to never play that track live anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Why? Because it's just a cover, right? Like you don't release it, you don't get any money from it. It's just your
doesn't matter. I know a duo actually, like a huge DJ duo that made a remix of yeah, I know the song, but I'm not gonna name the song. But they were actually like sued almost, and like they had to take everything down and are never allowed to play their bootleg out anymore. So it's yeah,
interesting. Why would that be?
I don't know. I think in general it's like yes, the master recordings I can see like
Hmm.
you don't want everybody to use that. And I used a lot of it in this one, so it's going to be difficult to change all those parts,
But
especially the vocal because it's so good.
but that would mean no other producer or DJ out there would be able to create a bootleg and give it away for free.
No, it is, but like first of all, uploading it is a bit of a difficult thing because a lot of things just throw it off, like SoundCloud.
Mm.
So that's yeah,
And what
just thinking
about
about
just uploading it in Dropbox and sharing Dropbox link?
maybe. Maybe, but I have to tread a bit more lightly because I'm a bit more high profile, and then they will
Hmm.
see it as like, hey, you're generating money and like
I
attention
wonder.
out of our master and out of our likeness and out of our. So it's you just have to be a bit careful with how you approach that. So I haven't found the way how to approach that yet. Let's say.
I wonder if it's truly like that. I think you're probably right. Those guys were subpoenaed and that happened, but I think overall you should be good, right? Like I'm curious to.
The thing is, if it was like crazy good, career changing good.
Mm.
I would have noticed by now. You
You
know.
don't want to risk it.
Is this one the one where it's gonna change so much for me now?
Did you
I can
did you
use it
check
in
with
my
a lawyer?
content. No, I don't. No.
I would just check with your lawyer. Like, what? Otherwise, just put it out, right?
I know a few things about
Hmm.
the music industry. No, but I
Okay.
think yeah, I could. I haven't found the right way yet, and I think is this then such a big track? Does it give me so much traction that I should? It's
Okay.
difficult. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Cool. Um. Yeah. Do you have anything to share aside from your release on the 28th? 28th,
28th of
right?
March.
28th
It's
of
my
March.
track, and it's called "This Feeling." And I think people will like it because it's a classic Jay Hardway track. I really like it. And today I sent it to Calvin Harris. So
If you're listening,
Calvin, if you're listening, Cal, I can call him Cal. Um,
Cal.
oh, that's a thing I wanted to mention. Have you heard the new Calvin Harris?
Not yet. I've heard the clips on socials.
I have a thing for my book, and it's called the Calvin Harris effect.
Oh, like once you hear it a couple of times, it's a hit.
Not that. It sounds this track sounds so crazy if you hear it. It's with a harmonica in it.
Hmm.
It's like if I would have made that track and sent it to a label and sent it to my friends, I actually tried it out here. They'll laugh me at me in my face. They're like, "You're not serious. Why? What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
If Calvin Harris does it, he's such a well-known name that either it's so new and good that in a few weeks it will be like one of those classics, or people are just so afraid to sell it, say to him like, "Hey, dude, this sucks."
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think it sucks. I think it's like it's such an interesting thing that if I would drop that track, people would be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And if he drops that track, the whole
Mm,
industry and the radios are like, "Oh, it's a new Calvin Harris, so it must be good." Just an
yeah.
interesting phenomenon. But I have to, I yet have to.
Well, it's
Um,
its reputation that definitely is part of the deal, as in the name Calvin Harris sells and it's
yeah,
recognizable and people already know it. Same with Gedda, right?
yep.
Um, but I'm not. I haven't checked it yet. I'm
It's
curious
in
to
my
hear.
head now that I think of it. So it's one of those things where I
Okay.
also think that's the second part of Calvin Harris effect. I hear it. I always have this with Calvin Harris tracks, and I'm like, "What is this shit?" And then 2 weeks later, and I hear it, and I'm like, "What is this again?" And then
Genius.
I'm like, I go like this, like, "What is this?" And then like, "Damn it,
Yeah.
damn you, Calvin Harris, you did it again.
Yeah.
you got
Exactly.
you got out of my skin again with your
Yeah.
harmonica, man.
I'll check
Always."
it out right after this episode. For next week, we have an episode with a guest called Mero, right? It's next week.
90% confirmed.
Oh, okay.
90%
Almost
confirmed.
confirmed.
Yeah.
And otherwise, she'll probably be in another episode. But probably
But yeah,
next week, we will have Mero in the episode. Looking forward to that one.
yeah. Yeah, I guess everybody that's listens knows Mero, but she's an
Yeah.
amazing, talented producer and DJ. I think she signed to Stamped, but yeah, it's gonna be a really
Yeah.
fun episode. So
Definitely.
definitely tune in.
And if you're listening to this podcast every week, and if you haven't subscribed to our channels yet, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and our podcast. Leave a recommend. How do you call that? Like a
A review,
recommendation, a
I think, a
review or something,
review, a like, a
or a comment
comment.
on this video. That would also really help.
Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, if you're not part of the community yet, make sure to go over to the artist coaching community on Discord. That's where we're active all week long. I will continue with the demo session in 15 minutes in the Discord. So I'll hopefully I'll see a few of you there. And we will be back next week with another episode, everyone. Enjoy
Uh,
your sunny day. See you all next week. Bye bye.